As someone who has spent years observing and studying wildlife, I am often asked questions about where baboons live and why they are involved in hunting in the United States. The topic of trophy hunting has been quite controversial lately, especially after the incident involving Blake Fisher, a former Idaho wildlife official. His controversial knocking down of a family of Chakma baboons in Namibia sparked outrage. This leads to a question I hear repeatedly. Do baboons live in the United States? If not, why do we hear about Americans hunting them? First of all, baboons are not native to the United States or anywhere else in the Americas. These fascinating primates, known for their distinctive drooping faces and social behaviour, are found primarily in Africa. They are well adapted to their environment, eating fruits, insects, and even small animals, often storing food in their cheek pouches. You will not find wild populations of baboons in the United States. Some may wonder if baboons exist in conservation areas in the United States, and they can be found in captivity, but there are no free roaming populations of baboons here. So when people hear about Americans baboon hunting, it is understandable to wonder why this is happening if these animals are not native. The answer lies in the global nature of trophy hunting. The United States plays a major role in the trophy hunting industry, with approximately 800 to 1,000 primates, especially Chakma baboons, being knocked down by hunters each year, many of them Americans. However, these hunts do not take place in the United States, but rather in African countries such as Namibia, where baboons are common and in some cases considered pests by landowners. Trophy hunting of baboons is legal under international law and is relatively cheap compared to hunting larger animals such as lions or rhinos. For example, the fee for shooting baboons in Africa can be as little as $60.00 in places where they are considered a nuisance. In some cases, landowners may even allow hunters to shoot a few for free. Most baboon hunting is not an individual trip. A typical African lowland safari package costs between $3,000.00 and $7,000.00, although some budget options start at under $2,000.00. Baboons are often hunted on these trips indiscriminately, as they are not usually the primary target. This explains why Americans, who make up a large portion of the game hunter population, are often associated with baboon hunting, even though the animals do not live in the United States. Having read up on hunting practices, I can share that hunting baboons in Africa requires specific strategies due to their keen senses and skittish nature. Hunters typically use rifles with calibers ranging from .243 to .300 Winchester Magnum, paired with expanding bullets weighing 100 to 150 grains. A well-placed shot to the upper body is usually enough to take down a baboon, as they're smaller animals compared to other game. What makes baboon hunting challenging is their alertness. Baboons are notorious for their loud alarm calls, which can scare off other game if they spot or hear a hunter. The usual shooting distance is 100 to 150 yards, and hunters often set up in a blind along the baboons' regular paths between their roosts and feeding grounds. These paths are predictable, with baboons travelling out in the morning and returning in the late afternoon. Stalking them is nearly impossible. They'll bolt at the slightest movement or sound, staying just out of range. So, why the confusion about baboons in America? It likely stems from high-profile cases like Fisher's, where an American's involvement in baboon hunting grabs headlines. The outrage over such hunts often overshadows the fact that they're happening in Africa, not the US. Additionally, the accessibility and low cost of baboon hunting make it a common add-on for American trophy hunters traveling abroad. This creates a perception that baboons might be local to the US when in reality, it's the hunters, not the hunted, who are crossing borders. According to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, wild boars are an exotic, invasive species that is wreaking havoc on Texas's native ecosystems. The state's wild boar population causes extensive damage to plants, animals, people, and the state's economy. Texas is home to more wild boars than any other state. While attacks on humans are extremely rare, they do happen. In 2019, Texans were attacked by large pigs, the most serious attack by feral pigs recorded since 1825, according to the New York Times. A lack of predators, a general attitude toward their habitat and diet, and a high reproduction rate have allowed feral pigs to spread throughout the state. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, TPWD, warns that if left unchecked, the feral pig population could triple in a year. As a result, anyone in Texas who agrees to the law can raise pigs without a license. To fight back, I decided to take a different approach for my next night boy hunting, using a compound bow instead of a rifle. People often ask what weapons hunters use, why some choose bows, and how we make it work. Let me walk you through my preparation and why I picked this method. I couldn't let them continue to destroy the livelihoods of farmers. This time, I took a different approach. combining modern technology and strategic planning to outwit the wild boars. I set up camp at dusk, spreading whole corn kernels as bait. A good choice for attracting wild boars by scent. My weapon of choice was a high-powered compound bow, equipped with a night vision scope for accurate shooting in the dark. The name of the bow, Matthews V3X, known for its smooth firing and high accuracy, is perfect for covert nighttime boar hunting. So why don't all hunters use bows for wild boar hunting? Bows require more skill and patience than guns. You need to be closer to your target within 30 yards to get an accurate shot, and the margin for error is very small. A rifle with a thermal scope is faster and easier to take out multiple wild boars in a herd, especially at night. But bows and arrows provide a quieter, more challenging hunt with less chance of spooking the herd. For me, the key is accuracy and connecting with the ground in a way that guns can't match. Which solution would you choose? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Moved to another location, I steadied my rifle. The crosshairs locked on the boar's shoulder. One clean shot rang out and it dropped instantly. The herd bolted, but I was ready. I fired 2 more controlled shots, taking down a pair of smaller boars before they could disappear into the brush. The thermal scope made all the difference, letting me track their heat signatures in the dark. In less than a minute, the field was quiet again, with 3 boars down and the rest scattered. I also coordinate with local farmers who have started using reinforced fencing to keep boars out. It's not just about knockdown boars, it's about combining hunting with prevention to protect crops and livestock. Texas law allows anyone to hunt wild boars without a license, which means more people can join the effort. But it's the strategic use of tools like thermal scopes and trail cameras that makes the difference. Wild hogs are considered an invasive species that can cause a lot of damage and are notorious for destroying crops. In the north, they can affect the food chain from berry orchards to large mammals. Locals call them ecological trains for their indiscriminate appetite. They will eat the eggs of any ground nesting bird. They will attack adults if they can, which they often do, and in the spring they will eat thousands of goslings, ducklings and other ground nesting birds. They will harm anything, even a mature white-tailed deer. It was this uncontrolled destruction that forced people to take action. They built a whole system of trapping, hunting and processing, turning what was once a threat into an industry worth more than $100 million. Why do I say that? Let's find out with me. This time, cage traps were chosen, silent weapons in the war between man and beast. They were metal fences, carefully engineered systems to fool one of the most cunning creatures on American soil. Each cage was made from large, 16-foot long panels of welded wire mesh that formed a perfect circle of control. The circle prevented pigs from congregating or escaping, while the open roof allowed non-target animals to escape unharmed. But building such a trap is no easy task. Each T-post must be driven deep into the hard Texas soil, tied with thick wire strong enough to withstand the wrath of a 200-pound wild hog. one misplaced post, one loose knot, and the night hunt is doomed. Building these traps is part engineering, part endurance, and all determination. But the trap doesn't always win. In Texas, they say, once a wild hog learns, it never forgets. It remembers bad experiences and recognizes danger after just one encounter. Sometimes, if the trapper hastily activates the trap before the herd enters, the rest will scatter and never return. It's a mistake that many farmers overlook. To deal with the wild hog's increasing agility, Texans have had to change their entire strategy. Before setting the traps for real, farmers often familiarise the herd by leaving bait in the traps without triggering them for days, making them believe the place is safe. When the time comes, the herd enters and the door slams shut in silence. But the hog's wariness never goes away. So the traps are moved periodically, changing location after each catch to break their avoidance habits. Captured boars are transported to USDA-approved facilities where processing adheres to strict humane standards. Each animal is tested for diseases like brucellosis and pseudorabies to ensure biosecurity. Workers handle each animal individually, as wild boar meat is firmer and has less fat than domestic boars. The carcasses are given traceability codes, deep frozen and prepared for the global supply chain. From muddy fields to cold steel mills, humans turn chaos into order. Wild boar meat is processed into salami, bacon, canned goods, exported to New York, Paris, Tokyo. The invasive species, now providing new livelihoods, is a symbol of human adaptability and creativity in the face of wild nature. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, wild boar meat contains only about 3% fat, is rich in protein, iron, and omega-3s, and is considered a clean, sustainable, and premium meat. Wild boar meat is priced 30 to 50% higher than farmed pork, becoming a natural luxury in large restaurants. That is how the United States turned an ecological hazard into a hugely profitable export industry. Hello friend. In Australia, trapping wolves is a necessary tradition to protect farms. But in late 2022, things changed. Farmers noticed strange, aggressive behaviour in wolves, leading to the shocking discovery that rabies was emerging in them and spreading rapidly. Trapping operations were suddenly suspended due to concerns about collecting and disposing of wolf carcasses that could infect humans. This left farmers defenseless as wolves became more aggressive and losses mounted. Estimates of losses soared to more than $1.5 million in livestock and pets lost to rabid wolves. Meanwhile, globally in Queensland, Australia, a population of red foxes kept in captivity for pest control escaped from a farm carrying mange, a parasite that spreads rapidly to livestock and local wildlife. By early 2023, more than 150 outbreaks had been reported. In early 2018, the Australian government launched a massive campaign against the invasive wolf population. Learning from the trapping encounters, the government required hunters to operate at a safe distance of 350 feet to avoid danger.
Nice shot.
This massive effort takes place every year from September to March, with winter being the peak season.
Nice shot, man.
During this time, exactly 2,300 hunters from across the country come together to face the icy conditions and rugged terrain. In Australia's rugged Northern Territory, hunters are responsible for managing the wolf population with the ability to control the damage they can cause. At the renowned Arnhem Land Hunting Centre, they undergo a rigorous 3-month course, mastering precision shooting techniques including the prone position required for open terrain with little cover. This high-risk training pushes them to perfect each shot, honing instincts vital to conservation. With each skill learned, anticipation rises as each hunter prepares to make real-world decisions to protect Australia's fragile ecosystems. During Australia's harsh winters, wolf hunting becomes more difficult with poor weather conditions. Hunters must keep a close eye on the forecast as sudden blizzards can strike, especially in September when storms can reach speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Authorities provide hunters with tents that can provide safe shelter during these storms. Working in teams is essential for added safety. Thanks to responsible hunting, the wolf population in northern Australia has declined from 4,200 to 2,800, allowing Australia's livestock economy to make a steady recovery in 2019. Along with dealing with millions of wolves, dealing with red foxes became a pressing issue in Australia in 2018. To address these incursions, some areas in Australia allow controlled hunting in remote areas. Hunters must apply for a permit, which costs around $30 to $45 and must adhere to strict local regulations. Additionally, to increase their success rate, hunters invest in camouflage and protective gear, often spending up to $500 on equipment alone. However, due to ethical concerns, fox hunts must be reported to authorities upon completion. Furthermore, responsible control of hunting has helped to reduce negative feedback from some communities that do not support hunting. These pests will be carefully collected and humanely destroyed to prevent the spread of disease. For the safety of hunters, their use is restricted to prevent the spread of disease. What do you think about how farmers are responding to this invasive species in the comments below? Are these efforts worth it? If you agree, comment number 1. Please watch the next video. The master of the hilly terrain belongs to the horse, with legs so well balanced that studies have proven that they can easily conquer slopes of up to 40 degrees. And the action in the video is only performed by experts. Do not imitate any movements. Once again, affirming that nature is scary. It can swallow anyone who opposes it. In harsh winters, when forests are empty and food is scarce, hungry bears venture into farms to confront humans head on. The free falls are not a pretty outcome. But is this the price of aggression? Or just a cycle of despair for those driven to the brink by hunger? The eagle, with its razor-sharp talons, caught its prey in an instant, but the squirrel struggled and slipped out of its claws, falling freely. Without stopping, the eagle swooped down, determined not to let the squirrel go. These tense falls, along with a series of moments when animals faced survival, revealed their haunting wild instincts. A mother bear's fierce love drives her to protect her cubs from the harsh challenges of nature. When food is scarce in late autumn and flat roads near residential areas become unsafe, the mother bear leads her cubs across rocky hills to safe feeding grounds. They move slowly, but for the cubs, the steep slopes are still a challenge. A call to action to end indiscriminate hunting. In the cruel food chain of wild nature, a deer runs away from the relentless claws of a wolf. It charges up a steep 50-degree slope to throw off the predator, but the wolf is already ready to hunt without any difficulty in the treacherous terrain. The message reminds you to be careful with nature, do not to anger it. In the harsh Alaskan wilderness, two grizzly bears fight for survival, their massive paws colliding in a brutal fight for food and territory. One misstep could send one tumbling over a cliff. This fight exposes the brutal reality of nature, where only one can walk away. Squirrels can leap at lightning speed, 4 to 5 feet per second, up to 9 feet, and are considered superheroes.
Whoa!
But slippery branches, strong winds, or distractions can cause them to fall. Luckily, they are safe from heights of 100 to 200 feet thanks to their light bodies and parachute-like stance. Nature spares no one. Floodwaters in Texas have swept away thousands of cattle, especially in the 2021 floods. The devastating floods not only drowned the cattle, but also caused millions of dollars in damage to the government. Not from the high mountains, but from the fierce force of the floodwaters that swept away everything in their path. Every fall of a moose is a reminder of the power of nature. Humans can step in to stop it, but are we strong enough? If we don't know our limits, we will reap the consequences. These falls are not only a test for the animals, but also a reminder for us to respect and understand the natural world. Despite their agility, mountain lions can slip on fragile or wet branches, especially when chasing prey at high speeds, giving them no time to adjust their posture. A fall on a steep mountain can be fatal.
Do you know why monkeys attract human attention? The strong reproductive behavior of monkeys leads to population explosions. They have high reproductive rates and short reproductive cycles. The mating season occurs from June to October, with infants born about 6 months after pregnancy. Each litter usually consists of 1 to 2 offspring. This rapid increase in their numbers makes them difficult to control by local governments. Their dietary habits can also have negative impacts on the environment. They may consume human leftovers, such as bread and fruits from passers-by. Monkeys often live in troops. Troop sizes can vary from a few individuals to over 100, depending on the species and habitat. They have an average weight ranging from 12 to 20 pounds. Have you ever wondered about the impact of monkeys on communities and the environment in the United States? First, let's explore the origins of where monkeys come from. In the 1930s, invasive monkey species were introduced into Florida in small numbers. Today, due to their strong adaptability and high reproductive rates, their populations have increased significantly. It is estimated that the number of monkeys in Florida could reach tens of thousands. The population explosion of monkeys has caused numerous issues for residents. They invade cities and residential areas, causing chaos and posing safety risks to people. Cities where they reside suffer significant impacts on infrastructure and residents' daily lives. Florida cities are most affected by the invasion of monkeys. Every year, damages caused by monkeys are estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands of US dollars. This not only inflicts economic losses, but also diminishes the quality of life and safety of the community. Residents may feel anxious and fearful about monkey invasions, especially when they become too close and disrupt their daily lives. The invasion of monkeys has caused many negative impacts on residents and tourists in the city of Florida. The economic damage caused by monkeys is significant. They often steal from residents and tourists, resulting in property damage and a sense of insecurity. Every year, the tourism industry in Florida loses millions of US dollars due to the impact of monkeys, especially when tourists no longer want to visit heavily affected areas. The invasion of monkeys also causes traffic disorder in the city. They often appear on the streets, blocking traffic and creating the risk of accidents. This not only makes traveling difficult, but also threatens the lives and safety of traffic participants. To solve this problem, local authorities need to promote measures to control the monkey population and improve the management of their habitat. To control the influx of monkeys, the Florida government has enacted policies allowing citizens to use hunting tools to euthanize them in designated areas. However, this has sparked controversy, with some supporting it as a means to manage wildlife populations, while others oppose it, seeing it as cruel. To address this issue, encounters with wild monkeys often occur far from farms and cities to avoid impacting other animal species. In Florida, measures are implemented both during the day and at night. However, nighttime hunting remains challenging, as tracking and retrieving monkey carcasses are more difficult in low light conditions. Moreover, nighttime hunting poses risks due to limited visibility, potentially leading to accidents for hunters. Each hunting expedition requires hunters to obtain a valid invasive monkey hunting permit from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission (FWC). The permit is valid for 1 year and allows hunters to euthanize invasive monkeys statewide. Hunters are obligated to report the number of monkeys euthanized to the FWC within 48 hours after the hunting activity concludes. Reporting is essential for controlling the annual quota of monkeys hunted. Is culling monkeys an effective solution to control the invasive monkey population, or is it a controversial act that harms wildlife? Everyone is encouraged to share their thoughts and perspectives on this matter in the comments below. Monkey enthusiasts often oppose hunting, viewing it as a cruel and unjust action against animals. They may support alternative measures such as relocating monkeys to wilderness areas. However, some communities support hunting as a necessary measure to protect agriculture and ensure community safety. They argue that controlling the monkey population through hunting is the only way to address issues of invasion and damage. In summary, this issue not only impacts the environment and security but also involves diverse perspectives that should be carefully listened to and discussed before making a decision. Are you a monkey lover? If you love them, please leave a comment with the number 1. If you don't love them, comment with the number 0. Thank you for watching the entire video. Please like and subscribe to the channel to watch the next videos.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video. Thanks Mouse Farm.